The first Pierce Brosnan film is widely regarded as the best, and for good reason. It is just a rock-solid Bond film with all the things you want. Memorable action sequences, a great new take on the Bond character, memorable Bond girls, both in the villain sense with Onatopp from Famke Janssen, and then even the Bond girl that's on his side isn't necessarily the most memorable of characters, but she ties into the plot in a way that has a lot of emotion to it and is relevant. And of course, you get Michael Biehn as the villain in the film that has ties to Bond. There's a sense of betrayal from each of them in a certain sense. And so you put it all together, and it has action, it's got humor, it's got emotion to it, all the things that you want, and kicked off an era really nicely that went to some weird places, but it started off with really nicely.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Goldeneye?
Oh, it's one of the best in the series for sure. I mean, like Martin Campbell comes in here and he sort of like was tasked with, making Bond transition into, the modern era, right, into the 90s and so forth in a way that,
even on
made him feel relevant.
Right, even on some simple things of like the scene where the car breaks down and they're working on the engine, just the dialogue there.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit more modern. It feels a little bit more like just kind of people sitting around talking rather than some kind of the stiffness and quips of the past. You can just see even in the dialogue at times shifts.
Yeah, no, for sure. I definitely agree with you. It does feel like it's interesting because this movie does feel like the continuation of the ideas they were exploring with the Dalton films, but it also does feel like a nice fresh reset too. So I always sort of lament the fact that we never got to see this movie with Timothy Dalton, because I just think that it does still feel like it's more attached to those movies than it necessarily does the rest of Brosnan's tenure, and it sort of feels like Brosnan is almost playing Dalton's Bond in a lot of ways here. Not necessarily like his mannerisms and his interpretation of the character, but just like the way he's written feels more in line with Dalton. And so to me, that's why like Tomorrow Never Dies feels like the first like Brosnan movie, But I mean, yeah, this one is Sean Bean as Alec Trevelyan is one of the best villains in the entire series, because they're just the fact that like the kind of the people that Bond puts his trust in, right? The people that he respects and all of that, the fact that they're the ones that betray him in this film. His own comrade, right? I mean, that stings, right? And we see the payoff for that in the way that he kills him.
Yeah.
The fact that he goes from being this arm of the government for all of these years to this guy who's fully in control of his own autonomy. In this movie, the payoff is like, no, for me. And then he just drops him dead.
For England, James? No.
Like, that is one of the greatest villain kills in the entire series. Not just because it's a great line, but it's just for what it means for the character. I think it's a big turning point for him, for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, Alan Cummings as
I'm invincible.
Yeah. Yes, I am invincible.
I am invincible. Like, it's so great. Boris is an incredible side character there, like so sniveling and just pathetic, and
that you'd think would be pretty forgettable because he's a stock, the guy that betrays everyone else, but he's like written in a way and portrayed with so much energy that it pops. And actually, on his point, there's in Martin Campbell's direction on this, there's some just great little moments, like the sequence with the pen that we're told early on, click it 3 times, and it's armed, click it 3 times, and it's disarmed. And they just have this scene in the finale where Boris is not knowing the rules, but we know the rules. And can't catch. And so you're just watching this sequence, and you're trying to count while you're watching Bond trying to count, like... And that's like great cinema of tension building. You communicated what we need to know in a way that we can remember it, and then captured it in a way where you feel on the edge of your seat, like, are we about to all be blown to pieces? Like, what?
It's good. You're right. The way he sort of cuts and showcases tension in this film is a nice precursor to the tension in the poker scenes in Casino Royale. So, look, right out of the gate, Martin Campbell just sort of understood Bond, and so it's obvious why they would ask him to come back and do what he did with Casino Royale, because he had already re-established the character once before, and so like he was able to do it again in a different way. But it's just, there's so, like, the pre-title sequence is amazing.
Yep.
He jumps off the dam. I mean, that's such a great
just
stunt.
like
The
memorable
plane
Bond images. Him running down the dam. Later in the movie, him driving the tank.
I was about to say the tank in St. Petersburg is
the satellite dish. They're images that just stick in your brain.
Yeah, and Onatopp as well as a femme fatale.
Yeah, just everything she says the whole movie.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, Famke Janssen is so good in that movie. And
it's easy to forget it's her because, like, you think of her, the way she plays Jean Grey,
yeah,
and
so the
her
opposite.
role in the Taken movies, and even like Jon Favreau's maid. She isn't playing this type of character normally. She's much more subdued. And then in this movie, it's just all out, goes for it, and it just fits that character perfectly.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's while I think Tomorrow Never Dies is more of a quintessential Bond movie, this one has all of the elements that you want in a Bond movie, but they're used in new ways. They're explored in different ways that we hadn't seen before, and so it's like it's easy to see why this is one that we come back to time and time again, because it's endlessly rewatchable and entertaining. And the Tina Turner song is great, you know?
Indeed. I don't remember. Did you see Cinderella 2021? I
did not. I purposefully avoided that.
Well, as a tie back to Goldeneye and a final insult to Valentine, who is married to Mimi Driver in it, in Cinderella, Bond ends up marrying her. He stole his wife. So that's a deep cut for people that are really into Goldeneye as well as into Cinderella.
That is a good deep cut. That's right. Yeah, Valentine is in this too. I love him in the and seeing the way that they call back to him in The World Is Not Enough is amazing. Seeing the development of that whole relationship. But he's so good at here, especially when Bond goes and he confronts him first, and like he's so pissed at him and he's like throwing stuff and shooting pillow like the seat he's in. Brosnan's reaction is amazing. And
then in the background, future leading actress singing horribly in the background.
Yeah.
Movies. They're incredible. So this is one of my favorite Bond films. It's in general an important Bond film for me because it's the one that really introduced me, brought me into this world. And here we are, over 25 years later, still holds up. According to the Rotten Tomatoes, this one was at 79%. So it had it in first, I had it in first, you had it in first. Without any discussion here, clearly, or not with any disagreement, we all have it at number one.
Yeah.
Where can we find you on the internet? What do you have that would interest the viewers on Bond?
Yeah, so we got videos on Casino Royale and a video on No Time to Die coming out soon. I can tease to you all that the No Time to Die video will have excerpts of my interviews with Jeffrey Wright and Daniel Craig. So be on the lookout for that.
Whoa, I saw the one where you interviewed the Watcher, but that just escalated quite a bit.
So actually today, I had that interview earlier today, and that was incredible.
Oh, so Daniel Craig was my opener for you to...
Yeah, he was your opener. There you go. You can use that.
There we have it. I'm going to use that for the rest of my life. He is my opener. That's awesome. If you guys didn't know, I didn't know that. I'm hearing that for the first time. I didn't know about Jeffrey Wright because of the picture you posted. But, that's cool. That is very cool. Congratulations on that. I imagine that was is that of the interviews you've done? You've had some incredible interviews. Is that the coolest one you've done that was meant the most to you?
That's the one that meant the most for sure. Yeah. It was Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. Just like I'm glad the questions that we had were like really well thought out. I mean, he's the kind of guy where it's like if you give him good questions, he'll give you good answers. But if you give him shit questions, he's gonna make fun of you. So like, obviously that was not going to be the case with us. But I'm just really glad that he responded to the questions. So, yeah, no, it was great. Yeah, more than I could ask for.
Yeah, and that's cool. That like this, us being lifelong movie fans decided to pursue this.
Yeah.
And then today's the day you got to talk with one of the people of what's your favorite movie franchise?
Yeah.
As he's departing it. This is your last chance, and you got to do it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
So be sure to check that out, everyone. We've done these rankings for the other Bonds, except Craig, because I haven't seen No Time to Die yet. You can check those out right over there. I'll be seeing No Time to Die on Wednesday, reviewing it the next day, and then this weekend I'll be doing my standalone ranking of all 25 Eon Bond films. Be sure to come back for that, and keep talking movies too much. Bye-bye.